Hi guys, it's Desiree. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking books that I want to read this summer.
It was late at night. You tossed and turned as thoughts began to play. How can this be life?
So I was originally going to add this onto my 2020 TBR video that's I'm going to be editing tonight. But I decided, why not just make this a separate video of the books that I want to read this summer. So I'm sure you've already seen my 2020 TBR video, and that is books that I just want to read by the end of this year. But these books I want to try to get done within the next 2 months. Yeah, before I have to go back to school. 2 months and some change. I start school back up September 6th, so, and it's currently, hold on. It's currently Wednesday, June 8th. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yep, it's currently Wednesday, June 8th. So let's just talk about it. To be fair, I've actually read a ton of books this past week. The star of the show, I don't even have to introduce her anymore because talk about her so much. Half the books that I do want to read is on here, and then the other half I physically have in my right here I'm looking at. I literally just came back from Barnes & Noble's maybe not even an hour ago. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to film this video just now. So, I guess we'll start with the Kindle. Yes, we'll start with the Kindle. I do have to go kind of fast before I lose, like, the last bit of sunlight that I have. Actually, let me see when's, like, the official sun setting. Oh, okay, I have to 8:24 and it's 7:41, so we gotta go quickly. Okay, so on my Kindle, what I'm currently reading and what I'm gonna hopefully be finishing in a couple weeks, I read the first book in the Lauren Asher Dreamland series, Fine Print. This is, yes, the Dreamland series is a billionaire brothers book series. Imagine Disneyland adults. Yeah. So basically the whole overlap of this series, three brothers, Declan, who's the oldest, Callahan, who is the middle child, and Rowan, who is the youngest child. The first book starts off with Rowan, the second book is Declan, and the third book is going to be Callahan. So like I said, think Disney. Their grandfather ran the family business, Dreamland, Disneyland, basically. He died, and in his will, he assigned each boys, like, a challenge, I guess you could call it, that they have to do in order to get their share of the business. If they don't complete their, like, thing within, I think they have, like, a 6-month period. I know at least Rowan had a 6-month period. I believe Declan has, like, a year, whatever. They have to complete this in a certain amount of time. And if they don't, then their part or their share goes to their father. And their father is a drunk, like, verbally abusive asshole. We don't like him. Not in this household. So the first book follows Rowan. His task is to, I think it was, like, create a new attraction, or, like, figure out what's the problem that had been going on within Dreamland, and, like, fixing it by creating a new attraction and everything. So that's really cool. He, like, works really closely with the actual employees of Dreamland. And within Rowan's book, like, you get a sprinkle of Declan and Callahan and, like, other people, like Iris, who's Declan's assistant, and then all that. So that is that. Then you move on to the second book, which is Terms and Conditions, which I'm currently reading right now. That is Declan's book. And his challenge is he has to get married and have an heir to the business before he could become CEO of the business. So what I like about it is like Rowan works like hands-on with the employees, whereas Declan is more of the business side, like the upper higher side. And then I don't know what Callahan's like his position is, but we'll get to him in a second. Going back to Declan, yeah, so he has to marry and have a child within his first year. This I feel like is not a spoiler, because if you even look up a word of the book, it's gonna come up. And in Rowan's book, it's very like, it's not very, but it's like semi hinted at. Iris, as I mentioned, is his assistant. She's been his assistant for years. Like, she is pretty much the only person that is not scared of him, has him under control, and yeah, I just don't know how to explain their relationship. It's really cool. You kind of get like crumbs of it in Rowan's book, and now you get it in, you know, Declan's book. So I'm just going to give you like a little bit of what I read so far. So he's supposed to be marrying this girl. Obviously, he's like not trying to have any personal feelings with these people. He's trying to just get it done so he can get his share of the business. Last minute, his like fiance pulls out. It's literally the day of the engagement party. It's the day that he's gonna make the announcement, like who's he's marrying, and homegirl pulls out, and Iris is like, I'll do it. She's literally just like, we're getting married, and what I love about this is Cal, the third brother, is Iris's best friend, so you get a lot of Cal. I've only read, I want to say, how much of the book have I read? Let's see. I've only read 19% of the book, so only like a couple chapters. I'm not that deep into it. But the friendship between Cal and Iris is just, it's so good. Cal is just such a comedic relief. Like, I was literally cracking up reading that book. So good. So the third book in the series is not out yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out next year, because from what I've seen, one book has come out a year in this series. And Declan's book just came out this February, so it's not even been a year. But the last book is Callahan's book, and his challenge is he has to reconnect with Alana. We don't know anything about Alana except for, obviously, it's going to be a second romance, like a second chance romance. They're probably dated in the past. There's probably some history there, and now he's got to make up and figure all that out. I'm really excited because, like I said, Callahan is like he's the middle child. You know, the middle child's always crazy. He is the comedic relief of the books, and it's always the ones that like are making other people laugh, that it's just something deep down in there, something's going on. And he's like known for being like the problem child, and like giving everybody a run for their money. So I'm really excited to finish that series. I made the mistake though, I will say, the other day I made the mistake of looking at what other books Lauren Asher has, because whenever you finish, like, it gives you like more suggestions from that author. Excuse me. And I saw the first book for Throttle, which is the Dirty Air series. And I was like, okay, well, like, let me just read the description. Read the description, was still kind of confused. And because in Declan's book, he mentioned watching a Formula 1 game, I was like, okay, not making sense. So, of course, what did I do? I went to TikTok and I looked up the book and I watched edit after edit after edit. And basically, it's a 4-book series, each following a Formula 1 driver. Formula 1 is, think NASCAR racing, but in a car. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not that good. If you do want to understand it, on Netflix, I literally binged the whole first season yesterday. Formula 1, Drive to Survive. There's 4 seasons. The 5th one's coming out next year. I'm planning on watching it. I started the 2nd season. Already have my favorites. I already have my fan cast for all the boys in my head. Like, the Notion page has been created, has been organized, and each person has a fan cast to them. But besides the point, maybe I'll do a video on that one of these days. So yeah, basically Formula 1, it's race car driving, basically. Yeah, race car driving, I could say. There's 2 people to one team. So there's 10 teams in total. 10 teams in total, 20 players. You have 21 races in is it like 50 countries? I believe it is. You're constantly traveling. I really, really recommend watching that Formula One show on Netflix while reading it or before reading it. A lot of people said they watched it after reading it, but if you're going into this not knowing a thing about Formula One, it's really good to watch that series. Maybe watch the first season and then start reading it, because it helps you get familiar with a lot of the slang that they're going to say and like a lot of what they're talking about. It's really good so far. I'm reading the first book, which is Throttled. There's Throttled, Collide, Wrecked, and Redeem. So quickly, like from the overviews that I've read and like seen or whatever, so quickly, the first book, Throttled, that is Noah Slade. He is like the it boy of F1 racing. Everybody wants to be him, beat him, or date him. Like, he is the boy. But he has, terrible parental issues. Terrible. He's the only child, doesn't have any siblings. Like, obviously he's the only child. His dad's an abusive, verbally and physically abusive asshole. His mother is just like tapped out. Terrible. Yes, so he meets Maya. Oh god, I need to speed this up. I haven't even gotten over here. Anyways, he meets Maya, who is his rival's sister. So it's like forbidden romance. And yeah, that pretty much happens. Then we have the second book, which is Liam. What I like about these books is they're all mentioned. Like in the first book, you're gonna know who's who. Liam, he is the problem child, but I don't know, like comedic relief, problem child, love it. He kind of reminds me of Callahan in this, whatever. Somebody said it was childhood best friends to lovers. His girl is Sophia, and she's actually mentioned in the first book because her and Maya become friends. And I already know what that book is. She has a list, and let's just say he helps her with that list. That's what I do know. And he is like trouble. He is like trouble one after the other with sleeping with women. Terrible. Then we have Jax. Jax, from what I've heard, is he's an alcoholic, PR nightmare. So of course they hire somebody. They hire Elena. I don't know her last name. They hire Elena, and she is hired to keep him on track, keep his public image good, so he can keep all his sponsors and keep racing. And obviously within that they fall in love. I feel like I'm really gonna love their story, because black guy, like black male main character lead, Hispanic female character lead, Hispanic black Desiree. Hello, their love child. Anyways, so yeah, really excited for that book. Then we have the last book in the series, which I'm really excited for, because although it's the last book, a lot of people are like, it's bittersweet because it's the last book and it's like the best book. But it follows Santiago, is his name. It's Maya from the first book's brother, Noah's rival. Noah's rival is Santiago, and his book is the last book of the series. So I really like how it's like basically his brother-in-law and then him. Anyways, he's the last book of the series. I already know like something pretty big, but I'm not gonna spoil it. Like, not like crazy big, but I saw in edits. I forgot exactly what his love interest is and like what's the trope in his, but I just know that it's gonna break my heart. So, and yes, okay, so that is the Dirty Air series that I am hoping to finish within the next, I guess I could say 3 months. Yeah, June, July, August. It's only June 8th, so I have a lot of time left in June. I think I'm just thinking so far ahead. Alright, so let's get into it. As you guys know, Summer I Turn Pretty, Jenny Han series. Yes, I've been reading it. Didn't have the last 2 books. This is the reason why I went to Barnes & Noble's today. I convinced my stepdad to take me. I got the last 2 books. It's not Summer Without You. We'll always have summer. Second book, third book. Not reading the back of this. I did not get a chance to read the back of this. So it says, after spending every summer at Cousin's Beach, Belly's life is about to change. Since her brief relationship with Connor fizzled out this past winter, she'll be staying home for the first time. Her best friend Taylor has lots of plans for them, boat parties and tanning by the pool, and new boys to obsess over. But when Jeremiah calls and says that Conrad has disappeared, all roads seem to lead back to the beach house. Will Billy spend another summer chasing after Conrad, or will she finally be able to let him go? I did not know any of that because, like I said, I read from the sample on Kindle and it didn't give me like the brief description, and it didn't give me, well, I mean, honestly, I didn't look at the brief description. I just went straight into it. It didn't give me like pretty much anything, so I'm really excited. And obviously I'm not gonna read the back of this because this is gonna spoil this. So, but yes, these 2 books, I'm hoping to read these within the next couple days. These 2 books. It'll probably honestly take me like a week or 2 to finish these. Besides the point. So I have been thinking of reading this one. This is very book talk popular, and I was like, it's Pride Month, like let me just get it. Red, White, and Royal Blue. I think I heard that they're going to turn this into a movie or a series. I'm so glad I got it before they put that fucking sticker on it. But yes, she's thick. She a thick babes, but I feel like I could read her. I'll read the back. When his mother became president of the United States, Claremont Diaz was promptly cast into the American equator of the young royal. Handsome, charismatic, genius. Jesus Christ. His image is pure millennial marketing gold for the White House. There's only one problem. Alex has beef with an actual prince, Henry, across the pond, and the tabloids get a hold of a photo involving Alex/Henry's altercation. U.S. and British relations take a turn for the worse. Heads of family and state and other handlers divide plans for damage control. Stage a truce between the 2 rivals. What at first becomes as a fake Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than either Alex and Henry could have imagined. Soon Alex finds himself hurtling into a secret romance with a surprisingly unstuffy Henry that could derail the presidential campaign and upend 2 nations. It raises the question, can love save the world after all? Where do we find the courage, the power to be the people we are meant to be? And how can we learn to let our true colors shine through? I'm really excited. This is going to be my first LGBTQ plus book. And it's going to be my first male and male romance. So I'm really excited for this book. I probably won't do reading vlog for this, but maybe I'll just do a review. Okay, so the last book, I got this. I literally read it, or I saw her talk about it, and I was like, okay. And I saw it as I was walking out, as I was heading to the registers, and I was like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna pick it up because they had like a sun beach read thing, like really cool poster, and I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna grab it. And then I wasn't gonna buy it, but I had enough money, so I was like, I'll just get it. Anyways, this is Aline oh god, 28 Summers. I got this book recommendation from Sarah look at me fucking up her name. Sarah Caroli put up her channel. I just started watching her videos like a couple weeks ago. Really good, really love them. She's a lot of good recommendations. So I'm gonna read the back of the back of the book. I'm gonna have to like angle it because literally I have no light back here. When Mallory Blessing's son Link receives her deathbed instructions to call a number on a slip of paper in her desk drawer, he certainly does not expect Jack McLeod to answer. It's the late spring of 2020, and Jack's wife, Ursula de Gorsny, I think is how you say her last name, is the front runner in the upcoming presidential election. We love presidential elections, apparently. Link is sure there's been a mistake. How does Mallory and Jake know each other? Flashback to the sweet summer of 1993. Mallory has just inherited a beachfront cottage on Nantucket from her aunt, and she agrees to host her brother Cooper's bachelor party. Cooper's college friend Jake McLeod attends, and Jake and Mallory form a bond that will preserve. Through marriage, children, and Ursula's stratosphere, political rise. Anyways, until Mallory learns she's dying. This is really good. Actually, my mom just asked for a book recommendation to read, and I just gave her It Ends With Us. I was going to give her this one to read, but now that I think about it, I think I want her to read and finish It Ends With Us, and then I'll give her this one to read because I feel like she would like this. So yes, these are the physical books that I would like to finish reading. Oh wait, yes, these are the physical books I would like to finish reading by the end of the summer, also including the digital books that I want to be finishing in the next 3 months. I think I can do it, to be fair. I'm gonna add these books to my Goodreads reading challenge. I don't know what that's gonna push me up to now. I'll like put the progress bar up now, because I had it set for 7 books, because I never thought I was gonna be able to get through books this quick at all. If you know me, it took like at least a month to 2 months for me to ever finish a book. But I think there's a difference between reading books that you actually want to read and then reading books that you were forced to read. So I've gotten through books like fucking air. Literally my screen time has probably gone down this week by like a shit ton. Yes. So that is the books that I want to read this summer. I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one to come. Bye.